Hey everybody, it's Carrie and welcome back to another video. If you guys don't know me, my name is Carrie and I run Traveling Pony Studios, which is a small crochet business, and I do all types of YouTube videos. And this video, or these styles of videos, are a little bit more of my informal videos where we do more vlog style, more up personal with the camera. I show a few more different things. And so the big thing for this week, of course, is I will be having 2 stores open up at the end of the week. Basically, today is Monday. It is the 26th of August. My first store opens up on the 30th, probably like in the afternoon. I can't get there probably until I'm done with my barn because I do have a new horse coming in as well. It's a boarder. And then the 31st, I will make the drive. It's about 50 minutes to go set up the second store. They're owned by the same person, but I'm very excited. If you don't know, one of my goals this year was to do stores. Definitely, I was not expecting to be in 4 stores, but I don't think I will continue with some of the stores, particularly 1 next year, so I'll probably be down to 3. And then my main goal with doing stores is to phase out of doing as many markets due to the fact that I do run another business that is full-time. Crochet is not full-time for me technically, and I have been trying to expand and do more and get into more business stuff and creating new things again outside of crochet and horses, but I just don't have a lot of time, so that's pretty much all that fun stuff. But basically, wow guys, it's been a little crazy. I set up the shelving unit that I'm using, and I'll try and take some photos tomorrow, and then by the time I got up the shelving thing, it was a lot bigger than I anticipated. It took like 2 hours to set it up. I was so mad. I don't know, I didn't have enough caffeine to go through that process, but when I got it set up, I didn't realize that I needed a little bit more stuff, which I thought might happen. So a lot of the things that I had actually made for the markets to catch up, I am just gonna have to go ahead and bring them to the store as well, so I'll have to make even more just because of the fact that I kind of needed things to fill up the space. And then I also have a few items that I do need to make more of, which like I said, I was figuring was gonna happen. So I basically have essentially 3 days to make the new stock. So I'm not too worried because it's nothing crazy. They're all small items. I should be able to hit them out pretty easily. And tomorrow I'm not riding, so it will make things a little bit easier, but I'll kind of go over things. Let me put you guys down. I'm not gonna chew too crazy of an angle, but oh gosh, I have to show you guys this new journal I got, and I'll show you one more thing. I don't particularly buy things for myself very often, but I feel like this week I finally was like, you know what? I've been working so hard. I want to buy some things that I really want to buy, so I did. I went out of my way and bought things. So if you guys don't know, I have this very cute little folder right here. I am a fan of K-pop, and one of my favorite groups is ATEEZ, and so I have been collecting photo cards and stuff. Very cute, very fun. And so I wanted to get a few stickers to put on my photo card binder. So I got a few stickers from one of my favorite people that I watch on YouTube, which is Aspen's Illustrations. I love their stuff and I think it's also cute. So I got some stickers to put on my little photo card thing, and then I got this absolutely adorable binder that I am using to kind of write things down to separate the stores. And then as well, I got a cute little keychain, and I got this little planner that I'm also going to be filling out. Maybe not tonight, maybe, depends. But it says so much to do because it has little mushrooms on it. And then it says don't forget to relax, like frogette. I think it's absolutely adorable. Like I said, it's Aspen Illustrates. Super cute. Love it. Yeah, I'm really excited to have a new folder. I usually use a Korean brand, but I really wanted to support people that I love to watch on YouTube, and yeah, I got this cute thing. But basically what I went ahead and did is I went ahead and I wrote down the inventory list alongside what the pricing differences are going to be. I also have written down basically everything that I need to redo or make extra of before Friday. So it's pretty simple. I have 2 turtles that I need to make that are blue, 2 turtles that are green, 2 mini pandas, and then 3 triceratops, yellow, blue, orange, because I'm basically bringing the same items to either store, and then 2 mini whales that are pink, 3 sloths, and then 3 mini cats. And I think that's pretty much everything I'm gonna be starting with. So I got in this little basket right here all of the turtle parts except the heads, and then of course doing the body. Whenever I do turtles, I prefer to just make all the parts and then have them there, because I feel like that's actually the thing that takes the most time. It's just like making all of the many parts for the turtles. So I went ahead, made these. The green ones right here are for the green turtles that have the dark green shell, and then the blue one is for the blue turtle that actually has the green shell in this color. It is definitely so nice to have separate and set colors for the turtles now, and I did the same things for the axolotls. So the axolotl colors that I decided on was like essentially this blue with like an ice green gill and everything. That's the blue color, a purple, and then a pink, and it's so much easier for me to sit down and like say that I need to make like 8 of one color, opposed to before I was just kind of like doing a lot of random things, making a lot of random colors. And especially when you're doing stores, if you have separate locations, consistency is key. So I'm very happy to do that and have set colors now. I was doing all right with my market list. This is more so for like actual markets opposed to stores, but of course, you know, I wrote a lot of things, got things done, and then things are leaving again, which is what I kind of expected. I didn't really expect any of these small items to stay around, but I did at least want to make an effort to remake items. I need to actually add a few items onto this list just because I wasn't expecting to necessarily bring them to the store, but then I needed to fill things up with the shelf more. I have certain items that I do not have on here that are more holiday themed. I kind of stay away from holidays, but I do think having stores and then also having the market, I have a feeling I'm gonna end up making some small ghosts, maybe like a fidget thing that is like Halloween, some other Halloween item, and then I'm also thinking about doing maybe 1 or 2 dolls that are Halloween. And then as for Christmas, I'll do like the penguins, and then hopefully find some other smaller Christmas items. Feel like honestly those items might do better in a store than they do at a market for me, just because like my markets really don't line up with holidays per se. And I find that like most of the time, at least for me and my items, people when they're doing holiday markets, they aren't necessarily going there to buy like holiday themed items. They're typically going there to buy items for holidays. Like they're going to buy Christmas gifts. A lot of people, when I've done my markets and holiday stuff, they don't want to buy reindeer because by the time the 25th runs around, Christmas is over, and unless you really love reindeers, you just have this Christmas themed item. Like they'd rather go buy a neutral item like a cow or an axolotl or a stingray, like any of those neutral things that are gonna last throughout the year, maybe not be associated with Christmas, if that makes sense. But basically, rest of the night, I have to record a voiceover for a video, and that video I'll be getting out tomorrow. That is the vlog from last week. I am gonna stop crocheting because screwing really messed up my hands again and cut up my fingers, so I think I'm gonna just call it quits on that. I'm gonna go ahead and write down, I think in this, basically what I want to do for the rest of the week, and then maybe do a few miscellaneous admin things. But it is 9:35. I do feel pretty good right now, but I do know that I start to get extremely tired when I start to do a lot of admin work and edit. I got the name tags or the tags for the stores done. The biggest difference, I don't have them with me because I had to order them, and I don't think they're gonna get here by the time the 30th, but it is what it is. I was a little bit behind ordering them and even paying the $20, like it's a 2-day thing, so I don't know if they'll get here. But the biggest difference is on the back where I used to say thank you, I don't have thank you anymore, like on my business cards, and then it's blank. That way when I go to the stores, I can put the barcode and everything on the blank section. It has my QR code still, and then beneath it has a section that basically says like hand wash, don't wring out water, lay out to dry, all those type of things, so that way I don't have to worry about care cards in stores. I still have some business cards left over that I'm still gonna probably do the cut thing with and put them at some of the smaller stores, but moving forward I definitely want to focus on having a little bit nicer branding in that regard. And then I went ahead and paid a little bit extra to have the corners rounded, and then to also have the little punch holes already put in. I typically have to do that myself and then cut the card. So I just decided, you know what, I would prefer to save myself a little bit more time and then not have to worry about someone else having to necessarily do it. And then if we do it differently, like I just would rather get the cards, pay the whatever $10 or $15 extra to have that set and done, and then it's just less time that I could spend. Like, I feel like nowadays I need every minute of every day I can get between running the barn and crocheting and doing these stores and then doing the YouTube videos and editing. Like, there's not a minute of the day that I'm not working, if I'm being honest. Like, I am constantly doing something for one business or another, and I can tell you that if I had 4 more hours out of the day, I would be doing even more for my business and probably starting a third business. But sadly, I already kind of pushed the limit on probably what I should be sleeping, so I can't do that. I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna go ahead, fill this out, and then probably put my stickers on. I've been waiting to put my little stickies on because it's just been so crazy for me. I know the photo card things might scare some people, but I don't really do a lot of things for myself. I think that it's very important that if you enjoy something and it's harmless, that nobody should stop you from doing anything. And I thought that the little EXO sticker would be exceptionally cute. It is now the 27th. Today has not gone as I thought it would. So I ended up getting all the turtles done. Long story short, a turtle was sewn improperly. So I have to remake 2 turtles. I already have such a little time. It's freaking me out. I did get 2 pandas done, so I have to remake these turtles and then make 3 mini cat, 3 triceratops, 2 whales, 3 sloths, and then technically I am supposed to be going to a store tomorrow to drop items off, but honestly, I don't even know if that's gonna be happening anymore if I can't get the item done, and I'm just getting super stressed. I was feeling all right, but I have somebody new moving into the barn Friday, which is great, but then I have somebody who is like really wants to come to the barn, another horse. I really was not planning on having an extra horse, but they're just dead set on wanting to come out. They might come today to look at the barn. I have got absolutely no clue, and they want to move in right away, which is great. I guess what I'm trying to say, it's great for my barn and it's great for that business, but I've really enjoyed having the extra time to spend on crocheting, so it's made things maybe not seem so like scary and bad to me and like super stressful. Getting like 1 horse in is a change, and I hate change. I just want to like, I hate change. Any change throws me off. It makes me, I don't really get anxious a lot, and I don't really get worried about a lot of things, but when it comes to like changes, I get extremely stressed out. It's like, I would say probably one of the few things that really like gets me like physically nauseous and freaking out, and 1 change is bad. 2 big changes is really bad for me in a really short time. Like, I need a lot of time to process things. All of this change and then these stores, and I'm just like freaking out because all this time is disappearing from me, and I already like only have so much time a day, and it's just really stressing me out right now. Right now I need to go through and start the Excel sheet for the store and then send over my dimensions for the setup I'm doing, remake turtles, start working through the list of the other things, and then just really like remaking these turtles is throwing me off because like that's like an hour and a half right there, or 2 hours that I've lost, and I could have gotten 4 things done in that time. So it's kind of like freaking me out too. I'm just freaking out today. It's not a good day for me mentally. A few screws loose up in here. Everyone, I thought we would have a little chat while I am working on this triceratops. I got this guy and I got 2 more, so I'm gonna try and finish them up tonight, and then I just need to do a few things. I went ahead and filled out some things like on the inventory thing online, but I want to make certain that I'm doing it correctly before I go through and add all 60 items. So I'm just waiting to hear back from the store manager on that, and then I will send contracts over to somebody who is moving their horse in Friday. So Friday is gonna go, basically this new horse is coming in at 11, which is actually gonna be so nice because then I can for sure get the time in to go to the store. So this new person is moving in at 11. I don't think I'm gonna ride that day just because it's gonna be pretty hectic. I will do my horses probably a little bit earlier and then drive over to set up the store. I'm gonna send the dimensions of the stand I'm using probably tomorrow because it's getting late to be 5:30 today. Typically, I feel like once it hits about, I don't even know what, 5 o'clock, I don't think of emails and messages unless it's like I need to do it, and I don't really need to do this one today. This is just me doing a proper courtesy and trying to let someone know like they need to move things, I guess. Not every store you go to will require you to bring your own setup. It just honestly depends on the store. One of the stores I'm at, they basically had a set area and like a little basket for me to put my items in, versus some other stores will have you actually go out of your way, purchase the setup, all that type of stuff. So this one I did purchase the setup. It's a little big, if I'm being honest. It was bigger than I thought. Thank you, Amazon. I have no doubt that I can fill it up, if that makes sense. Like, I guess it gives me enough room to grow. And especially with the holidays coming up, I want to make a lot of holiday themed items for the stores. Maybe not for the markets, but for the stores, yes. So it's all good from there. I think when I left off, maybe, I know I said this because I'm on Instagram right now, I've been doing like a day in the life type thing in my stories, but I had somebody come and look at my barn unexpectedly. It was not planned, and it went I don't know if that's gonna be happening. I don't think so. It's gonna be a downvote for me. But besides that, I'm basically just gonna keep working through these Triceratops. These guys all done, because besides this one I only have to make 2, and it's 5:27. Easily can get that done, and then I will kind of decide on what to do next. I officially know the last 2 markets that I will be doing this year. I have my October 5th market, which I still need to apply for my business license. I need to remember that. I need to put down on my little mushroom list. I need to actually write down, apply for my business license, since it's Tuesday. I still have like over a month left, so I'm not too worried. They said it'd take like 7 days, but I want to get that done for the October market. So I have the October market, and then my last market of the year will be November 23rd. And that will be at the same place that I did my August market and that I have my store at. Well, very excited about that. And then I will be done with markets this year. I think I've mentioned this before. I do not do December markets. I know there's a lot of people who like do December markets, of course, because of people holiday shopping. I don't know. It's not really for me. Last year, I went out of my way and visited a lot of holiday markets. And I don't know, I think I found that there were a lot of people doing holiday markets, like with their products, and so I felt that somehow some of these markets were like even more congested than normal. There were so many people in certain categories, like double what I normally see, and like not just at one market, but like every single market I went to. So it kind of just made me go, well, you know what, I don't really want to do it. I tend to pick up more custom work during Christmas anyway, and then especially with these stores, I'm thinking I'm just gonna take December as a prep for any stores and any customs that I do decide to take on, because I have definitely cut down my customs. Let me know, guys, in the comments if you are interested or if you like. I just dropped my thing. Let me know if you guys like me talking into the camera and crocheting at the same time, because it is a little bit easier because I don't have to do voiceover, but at the same time maybe it's a little harder because I gotta edit more things. Well, hello everybody. It is on August 30th. And I know what you're thinking. Carrie, like, weren't you supposed to be doing things? And like, weren't you gonna be taking videos? In my defense, I did try. Let me explain myself real quick. As everyone knows, I am moving into 2 stores this weekend. I moved into the first one today, and then I was moving into the second one tomorrow, and I'm still planning on that. I honestly am going to try tomorrow to get some content creation, because I'm also gonna have my mother with me. She's coming to help me set up and everything, so it's not like I'm the only one there, so she can always hold the camera for me if I am brave enough and there's not like a swarm of people. yesterday, everything was going really good. At about, I think, 5 p.m., I went out to the barn, and as you guys know, my boarding facility focuses a lot on like retirement older horses, right? So a lot of these horses have issues. I have a lot of old horses, and I'm not talking like, you know, people think old and they're like, oh, like 15 or something. No, I'm talking about like 29, 31 old horses. And so I went out to the barn to do my 5 p.m. feeding, as I normally do, to give meds and everything. And I noticed that one of the older horses was down. Long story short, you know, we got the vets out, called the owner, da-da-da-da. So like I had slotted down like so much time to crochet and do certain things that still needed to be done for tomorrow. And then I ended up spending like, I don't even know, I think like 3 or 4 hours in the afternoon just sitting at the barn with like the owner, waiting for the vet, making sure the horse was okay. And then I ended up doing my normal like nighttime check, which is about like 8 o'clock, going around cleaning stalls, giving more food, medication. And then because this horse was having some issues, but he was kind of rebounding and he's doing good today, I wanted to make certain that I went out a little bit more frequent and to just check on him. So I ended up going out about 10 p.m. when I finished like editing for the night and everything. Then I also set my alarm clock for about, this is why I'm yawning, guys. I ended up setting my alarm clock for about like 12:10, I think, this morning. So I woke up at 12:10, you know, little old me, half asleep, put my shoes on, walked over to the barn, went in the stall, made certain that he was doing okay, all that type of stuff, and then I came back over and fell asleep. But that not crocheting kind of really threw me for a loop, because then this morning I was like, okay, I gotta do all this type stuff, and I was still trying to make sure the horse was okay, you know, relaying information to like owner, all that type stuff. And then as I stated before, we ended up having a new horse move into the barn today. And so like most things, and this happens every time I have a new horse come in, they'll say that they're gonna come at one time and then it ends up being like really early. Like the later being like late is not as normal for me, at least, is like somebody showing up like an hour early. And so essentially that's what was happening. So because I had like said, okay, this morning I know I'm gonna have till like 10:30 to work, and then I was like, oh gosh, it's like 9:40 and I gotta like book it out. So it kind of threw me in a loop. Got the horse situated, all that good stuff, and then I had this like slot of time where I could do the store early, because it's about like a 30-minute drive from me or something. So I was like, well, technically I have enough time to go run to that store, do it, and then be back in time to like do my 2 p.m. feeding, probably just like a few minutes late, but still I would be there. And so I was going back and forth. I was waiting for my tags to arrive that I paid for 2 days shipping on, and ended up paying like $30 in shipping, and they didn't show up today. Kind of mad because of spending money for the earlier shipping. I was kind of waiting, like I was like, should I wait for the tags? Should I not wait for the tags? And because I assumed the tags would be here, I didn't pre-cut tags from my old business cards like I typically have been doing to use them up. I ended up like, I think it was 11 o'clock. My mom and I were like, okay, you know what, maybe we can go now so we can beat like rush hour traffic, especially with it being Labor Day weekend. So it was, everything kind of like went by in a blur, because she was running around, I was running around, we were trying to cut things, get everything tagged up. We didn't grab the right color of like whales or something, and then I forgot to input like the pandas. Everything was just going so fast. We had to cut everything and then tag everything and then still get it in the car, the shelving in the car, which luckily it did fit in my car, which I assumed. And it was just kind of like mass chaos, if that makes sense. And then once we actually got to the store, you know, it was just kind of getting things like set up and da-da-da-da. And then by the time things were like set up and tagged, then I was also running into the problem that I like needed to go, because I needed to get back home to do my horses. So everything just kind of was like really crazy. I am very tired today. I have drank an insane amount of coffee and have not drank that much water. So I'm feeling pretty crazy, and especially since the fact that I did not eat much today until dinner time. So feeling very wild up in here. But I think that's kind of probably the reason why I'm hurting a lot today. I think it's not necessarily the amount that I crocheted, because I didn't necessarily crochet that much, but I think it's because I know my body, and if I don't drink a ton of water every single day, then I just naturally get very cramped muscles. Like if I'm outside in the heat all day and I'm not drinking a lot of water, and then I mean it's all gonna fall apart. But I did technically still get some things crocheted. So I ended up getting, like, I've got some bodies over here. I have more over there, but I ended up getting 5 turtles crocheted in that blue and green color. So one of them is going to the store, and then the other 4 will be put aside. I am starting to kind of go through my list and just like make some of the items that I know are at these stores, so at least I have some stock if I need to grab anything. Luckily, the 2 stores I am currently set up didn't need like any restocks this past week, so that was really good. But now that I'm kind of like getting situated, tomorrow I'll set up the second spot. And now that I'm situated in the stores and I can like really sit down and pound the market prep and building the stock back up. Luckily, my main focus for the stores was on small items. I think honestly, in the stores, I think there's really only one item that I brought that requires like a lot of sewing, and that would, I guess, technically be turtles with fastening off, or it would really be the shark being the thing that had like a lot of sewing. So I definitely tried to stay away from like a lot of sewing, big items for these stores. I really focused on like small items, easy to make. Honestly, I think when I was importing most of the things into the system, a vast majority of the items that actually went to the store were in the 12 to 18 range on my side. So it ended up being like a lot of things that I guess I could, technically if I sat down, I could probably make 10 of those items in a day. So I try to focus on that with the store. So now I'm just going to be working on like building things back up. I have been able to crochet a little bit, like I've got some whales and axolotls almost built back up again, and chicks, and like, so I have been building things back up, which I'm very happy about. And I think that once I get like kind of settled in and get into the routine now, and it's gonna be easy. Like I said, I canceled all my markets for September, so I have no markets for September. So basically, my next market is October 5th, but I have essentially all of September to just do store market, and I'm not taking on any custom orders. It's not like I get online orders. Really, I'm just like fully dedicated market store. I have my October 5th market. The whole rest of October, I am not doing a market. And then my November market, which will be my last like really big market, is end of November. It's November 23rd. I'm gonna have a good chunk of time in that October-November time frame as well to crochet, and I'm not planning on taking any custom orders during that time. Once I get through that market, dependent upon how the stores are going, depends if I'll take on a handful of custom orders. My assumption is by that point in the year, with it being November, December, my assumption is that the stores will be busier and will have a higher demand just because of it being Christmas time. And like a lot of times when people look at my items, it's like, especially the small things that I have in stores, I'm always told that it's like, oh, perfect stocking stuffers. So I'm assuming that I probably won't be doing many customs. I guess that if I kind of pick up customs or offer them a little bit more, I have a feeling it will be that January, February, March time frame, unless the stores are still super crazy, because, you know, December, I have right now on my plan, December, January, February, March, no markets. Last year I did a March market. I don't want to deal with it again. It was still cold, it was windy. I'm not dealing with it. Probably I'll do an April, May. I'll take June, July off, and then I'll probably do like August, and then maybe a September, October. Probably not September, it just depends, and maybe like an October and November. So drastically cutting down on the amount of markets that I'm doing, which is definitely my plan. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to do these stores, was so I could get out of doing as many markets. Like I said, really just focus on the stores. It's a lot less hassle for me having to run this barn and everything. I don't have to pay, you know, $300 or $400 for somebody to come and take care of my barn. I don't have to worry about the stress of not being here and having to run around. Like, my day starts early to begin with. I mean, I'm up at 4:45 every day. When I do markets, I'm up at like 4 o'clock. I've had to get up at 3:30 before markets. The reason for that is, you know, I have to take care of my horses still. Like, I have to get up, take care of the horses, put them outside, make sure the barn's like cleaned, make sure they all have their food, make sure that everything that I can possibly do for the person coming in to help me is done. And then I still have, like, I have dogs, I have my other animals, my cat. So markets is just like, it's a really big hassle. It's really exhausting. I do enjoy them, and I do have so many amazing, loyal, repeat customers to the point that I want to do the markets that I actually enjoy. Which for me are luckily the markets that are closest to where I live. So my intention next year is to kind of do maybe the markets that they host, which I think is like 3, maybe 4 a year, and then maybe sprinkle in like 1 or 2 other ones maybe. But honestly, I just want to make sure I'm getting my point across when I talk about like these stores and everything, that I'm doing it for a reason, and I'm doing it to cut back on something else. Like, if I was trying to do like 1 or 2 markets a month with these stores, I would not be physically possible. So when people they're like, oh wow, you keep doing it, I'm like, yeah, okay, but let me give you the nitty gritty. Let me tell you why I would much prefer to try and do a store, pay rent, pay commission fees, if I could still bring in a decent profit and not have to be there in person and not have to give up my time. The more I run a business, and like I said, not just one, I have 2 businesses, and if I had more time, I would have a 3rd business, but I don't. So I only have 2 right now that I'm running. And so the more time I spend just doing this, and the older I get, since I am only 23, the more I realize that my time is just like the most valuable thing in the world, and I have to start to look and be like, okay, I only have so many hours in the day. I technically am already like low on sleep, like I'm getting about 6 hours. Technically my whole life I've never gone with that little sleep. I've always been like an 8-hour person to keep me functioning like really, really well. And admittedly, I know that the less sleep I have, like recently, the more grouchy I get, the more sharp I get in certain situations, or I'll just like go from being at super, super high, like crash. And it's not that I'm trying not to be like really upbeat and stuff. It's just like physically, I think I literally have no more in me to give. With that whole rant being done, it's 9:23. I'm essentially going to be working on editing one of the YouTube videos because I kind of fell behind. Because yesterday I was just so worried about the horse, and then I was trying to make up all the crocheting that I lost. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of editing. I do know I'm pretty tired, so my guess is that once I start editing, I'm gonna fall asleep pretty fast. Because usually it's hard for me to stay awake anyway. And I definitely think I'm gonna pass out once I like really sit down and put music on and start editing. I'll also probably fill out a few things on my planner, go through some of the other turtle colors that I need to do, because that's kind of my thing. Is I think I'm gonna try and knock out the rest of the axolotls, because I think I have 5 more to do of them to be caught up on each color and have 4 in stock. And then I think I just have to do a few pink turtles, a few purple turtles, and then I need to remake the entirety of the green turtles. I'm just kind of going through the list in my head, checking things off, and then trying to have 4 of every item at least in stock as a good starting point, so that way I can take something and then I'll go, okay, boom, like I only took 2 from this, let me just make 2. A lot different than like making it when I need it and then I'm like, oh gosh, I have nothing. Nothing. So I think that's my plan for the rest of this afternoon, or until I pass out, because like I don't typically yawn that much, but I'm yawning so much, and I know I'm exhausted. I know I am, but I refuse to give up quite so easily. Well, good morning, everybody. As I was editing through this footage, I realized that I never recorded like an outro, nor did I talk about Sunday. So that's what we're gonna quickly do. It is the morning, so like I gotta get my day started. I'm almost into both stores, and I tried my best to get video, but it didn't really go as planned, so sorry everybody, there's no video really. Basically the big thing was I like had a time crunch again, but there were lots of workers there and there were people shopping, and so I was kind of getting things set up, and there was just some issues with some tagging stuff, so there was like a lot going on to where I was like, okay, I really can't set up my camera because there were people in the store and I was talking to people about the whole system, so I didn't get any like legit footage. I got like a picture too that I'll put in, but I'm all basically set up at the two stores, which is exciting. I'm happy to be in the stores because I feel like that is just part of the stress that I've been under, is like just getting into the stores. I've already given up like so much of my stock. So now after that, it's kind of like I can change the gears a little bit, and now it's just like upkeeping it, opposed to before it was like I have to give up. I think basically in the end, between the two stores, it was about 120 items. I think I was almost 60 on the stores. So, you know, it was just like that initial shock of like, oh my gosh, and then getting things set up. And now that it's in store, I think it's gonna calm down, because that's essentially what's happened with my other stores. It's like that initial rush period and stress of getting set up. And then once you're set up, then it starts to dwindle and get a little bit more what I would consider manageable. So I am full force back into working on market prep. It is September 2nd, so I got like my business stuff filed for the October event. This event requires like a business license, and I think I have to go get like a tax number. So homegirl is not gonna be official, and homie's gonna have to pay more taxes, and it's gonna be a legit business license. I'm a little sad because it's going to be a lot more work for me to keep up with things, but at the same time, I guess as I'm looking at how I want to expand in the future, that it would be good to just go ahead and get it, and then I don't have to worry about like not having it. So besides that, I think pretty much that's how I'm gonna leave this vlog. I will try and get some more video upcoming, because I'm gonna do like the market prep thing and just working towards that. And I'm hoping to get my phone fixed. I've been saying this for months. I'm hoping to get my phone fixed, so I will be doing live streams again. I don't know how often. I'm gonna say 2 times a week maybe, but it will be like in the afternoon and at night, because that will probably be the best time for me. We'll start doing the live streams again, and I would love to hear y'all's opinions. I'm possibly looking at considering doing some designing for apparel stuff. This would be probably focusing on like crochet stuff, and I'm looking at doing the embroidery side and giving it a whirl. I've talked multiple times that I just want to find ways to make the business a little bit more sustainable, where not every item is made by myself. So if you guys are interested in particular things, and just let me know, because I want to know, like, are people interested in like stationery? Are people interested in stickers, apparel that are like crochet, yarn themed, all that stuff? I would really love to hear y'all's opinions, because it really does make a difference, and I really do read everyone's comments and take everything and write it down so I know what to make in the future. And as for videos, I think coming out, I will have a crochet with me video this week. Another vlog like this. I will have a what I crocheted in a week video, because I definitely have enough to do that now. And I am currently working on a video about burnout. I am doing a lot of B-roll footage, so I'm just trying to get everything there and then write out the script for it. But I do get a lot of questions about burnout, and it's really difficult for me to reply to comments about burnout, because Burnout is probably very different for me and my opinions on burnout compared to other things in my life. So I'm gonna just make a whole separate video on it because it's very difficult for me to explain like some things that I just need to hash it out, and then hopefully people will be like, okay, that makes sense, or people might be like, that doesn't make sense at all. But that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the day, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully. Bye.